I think we can all agree that remotely learning from school isn't ideal, but it's a spectrum. For some people, it may be hell on earth, while for others, it may just be a minor inconvenience. Where does my experience rank? Well, my first experience with online school was during the latter half of 10th grade, and it was okay. I feel like I was too busy enjoying the extra free time to think or even care about the consequences. Now, ask any teacher which year during your high school years is the most important, and I think most of them will tell you that it's your junior year. During this time, I had online school for the entire year, and it was bad. I don't blame the teachers. I genuinely think that they did the best with what they had. But man, it was hard to even stay conscious during most of their lectures. And if you were conscious, I can guarantee you that you were doing something more worthwhile, just something. My grades were fine. They were actually better for the most part, but that had almost nothing to do with the online learning experience. I earned those grades from self-studying and essentially self-preservation. As a class, we would share resources to each other that we could quiz ourselves on, take notes on. I will say that one silver lining is that this event brought our class closer together than ever before. Now here I am, attending online school because my school is having renovations, and it's okay. Again, the teachers are doing their best, and I think we're all painfully aware of how much this sucks, and I can appreciate how some teachers are self-aware of the situation and they're not taking themselves too seriously. Instead of long lectures, we get short and simple debriefs from our teachers and use the resources given to us. I would take that any day over an online class lecture. Compared to my old school, my current online learning experience is much more put together and organized. I feel like the teachers here actually have somewhat of a plan, some goal, some direction. I like how we have our own devices for online school as well. I know most people will say sleep, but if you've seen my previous video, you know that my sleep schedule has gotten worse due to online school. I like that I can stay at home, I guess. My bedroom's quite cozy, and I like how I can eat a proper lunch. Lunch ladies, I love you, but come on. Would you feed your child that food? Jokes aside, that's all I can really think of when it comes to the pros. Do you remember all those times when teachers would warn us the dangers of being addicted to our devices? And essentially, sometimes they would mock our generation for being, I guess, device junkies? It's kind of ironic, huh? What I find hilarious is that despite this, my school dedicated a week to helping us become technologically literate. Which, in hindsight, it makes sense. We can be really dumb sometimes, even with technology. I recall getting Snapchat for the first time and freaking out when I saw all my text disappearing. What I find funny is that you would think that the school would educate its educators on this subject as well. Maybe they did in some meeting that I'm not aware of, but according to my experience, let's see here. Not putting a due date on the assignment, not knowing how to share a screen, forgetting to unmute, having typos on a test, forgetting that muting the class is much more effective than telling the class to be quiet. Now, look, honestly, these hiccups aren't that big of a deal. They're pretty funny, and they actually bring some levity to the whole experience. The next con is a big one. Whether you like it or not, when there was school, there was some structure to living. You knew when you had to get up, get dressed, eat breakfast, get back home, etc. With online school, there is no structure. Home should be a place of solace and peace away from work. But I have school at home, so I don't go back home. I'm just thinking about how to pad out my day. I don't have to prepare anything to go to school because we're not going as much as we're logging in to school. In school, there was some kind of electricity around talking to people, around interacting with others, rather than talking to squares on a screen, especially in class discussions.
I disagree.
Well, then you're not listening.
I am listening.
No, you're not.
Go. She agrees with me.
That's not fair.
I mean,
I agree a little bit.
Okay, well, maybe not completely, but it still counts.
So how do we go about doing that?
What was the question?
The whole online learning experience is just a chore to go through. And it's much more worse in my grade because I'm in 12th grade, senior year, a grade synonymous with wanting to get the hell out of high school. Yes. At its worst, online school is a chore that I gain nothing from, with no connection to the educators, the lessons, and never feeling like I'm actually in school. At its best, it's merely passable, with some fun moments, but I would trade them any day to go back to a physical, living, and breathing school. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you want more of my content.